everybody? Hello, and welcome to Endless Multiverse, episode 53 with your co-host Chainsaw and Andy. And we have a variety of things to talk about. A variety of things for sure. How are you doing, Andy? How are you doing on this fine April week?
Fine for some. I've had better weeks. What about you?
It's been hectic for sure. Metallica dropped the new album today, so I've been spending a lot of time filming. So I'm actually tired for filming so much because I keep my energy up. But we have some interesting news this week in terms of DC Marvel and a streaming service, HBO Max, and Harry Potter to kind of wrap it all up. But we want to thank you all for being here and supporting, and thank you all for supporting our kind of, I wouldn't call it a relaunch, but last week where we basically started off with our new overlays and everything for you guys to make it a little bit more easier on exactly what we're covering each topic. Are we ready to dive in, sir, on this
Let's
week?
roll.
Oh, well, actually, but first, I forgot to mention, we did have a super chat from Scott. I think we should address it first before we get to the show. Thank you, Scott, for the super chat. Thank you so much for supporting the stream, the show. I think Hera Syndulla might cameo in the Mando season 3 finale, leading a Republic squadron to help out the Mandalorian fleet against Imperials. Who do you think might appear in the finale? Ahsoka? Well, it's an interesting thing because I think Hera is possible. I think more likely Ahsoka is more probable because of her show. It's she's the lead. I would say neither. I feel like more than likely it may be to where we might get a Thrawn appearance to set up Ahsoka. I don't know if Ahsoka or Hera, especially Hera, because Hera has no connection or ties to Din like Ahsoka. So that would require us to see a team up of characters from Ahsoka, the Rebels, sequel, essential series, teaming up to pump in the Mandalorian. I don't know. I feel like it ain't gonna happen. I'm curious though how they're gonna get out of the situation with the one and only Moff Gideon, but thank you for the super chat. Thank you so much. So
I only knew one word, and that's in that whole question. What it meant.
What
that
was
was Mandalorian. That was Mandalorian. Because Pedro Pascal played some. That's all I know.
That's it's a lot.
I love when it's Star Wars. I just sit there and be like,
yeah, I get it because
I don't know who the fuck any of these people are, but okay.
It's like whatever.
I don't even know what the High Republic is anymore. So is that the bad one?
No, that's that's the new stuff, the High Republic. It's the newer stuff that takes place in the past before the Phantom Menace, but not so far back that it's Old Republic. It's High Republic. I don't know. But they have like a whole books and that Acolyte show that you had discussed, we had talked on the phone about, I think last week or something. That's towards the end of the High Republic, about 100 years before the Phantom Menace. So
okay.
So yeah, so that's the first time they're actually attempting it outside of books. But let's jump into these topics, guys. We have a couple things to talk about today. So Constantine, take it away.
All right then. On with the show.
All right then, on with the show. We are discussing, of course, first the Marvels teaser trailer. The Marvels finally had their first teaser. We've been hearing a lot about this film in regards to the team up of all three of them. They're, of course, all imaged down there. This is from that one shot of all three of them standing next to each other with their suits upgraded and all that. And I want to say it really hits on as a teaser because we don't really know the story outside of something is happening to where, especially Carol and Kamala, they're switching locations, because that was at the end of Miss Marvel where we had Carol pop up randomly in Kamala's room and there was no explanation for it. And all of a sudden, boom, like it just happens. And then in the film, you see the switching. And then later on, you see Monica switching as well. So there's some sort of thing tying all their powers together. And I think that's interesting how that's why they're coming all together as a part of a group, a team, because of the connection of their powers. But I overall enjoyed it. I'm somebody who doesn't hate Captain Marvel in terms of a character or the film. The film could have been better, sure, but I like the fact that it was in the 90s. It was different. It wasn't like, oh, it's a part of the modern, just continuation of everything. And her appearance in Endgame, she turned the tide in that fight with Thanos. That's how powerful she is, and saved Tony. So I'm curious to see what they're going to do. And I really like the fact that they highlighted Kamala's parents, like her whole family, quite a bit, because that was a fun, because when Nick Fury's standing there, the door opens, he's like, did I get in? She was all excited and shit. And I just know that is her name Iman? Is that her name Iman?
Iman Vellani, yeah.
Yeah. I know that partly that's actually her as a fan acting in those parts. Like she's not like she's playing herself, but also Kamala kind of, because you just know that she was loving shooting this movie. You can just tell just based on how happy she was. But what did you think of the teaser for the Marvels?
Yeah, it definitely feels like a teaser, and I love that it's, you know, because this is one I've been looking forward to the most in the multiverse saga thus far.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I mean, at this point, like when they pushed it back to November, that was the one where I'm like, are you actually fucking kidding me? But you know, if it gives them time to finish everything, that's great. No, but like, listen, I am a huge Kamala Khan fan, and I love Monica from WandaVision and Captain Marvel. That's one of my favorite movies in the MCU. So I'm glad to see them finally together, and very much a teaser. They don't. I feel like this is the more comedic teaser, and then the next one we get is probably going to be the more like kind of explaining Monica and Kamala's respective emotional connection to Carol, and go a little bit more into the villain and what is Fury's role in all this.
Mm-hmm.
I was beyond confused why Monica is now suddenly part of Saber instead of Sword. I'm like, we're just gonna jump across all these, you know, like these like acronym organizations and just forget about Shield, which drives me great. That's why I love Captain Marvel, because it honors Clark Gregg's Coulson.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, but like Iman, like, you know, like she is such a huge comic book nerd. That's why, like, when the Spider-Verse teaser came out, and he says, you know, like when Miguel said something like Doctor Strange, that nerd on Earth 1999 or whatever, it goes back to when Iman said, like, we're not Earth 616, we're Earth 19999. So I'm like, is Sony a Miss Marvel stat? I'm just saying.
It's possible.
So like this is the Marvel movie I've been looking forward to the most all year. So I'm like, at this point, I'm like, fine, we go through Ant-Man and 3. That was whatever. Let's just wrap up Guardians and let's just get to the Marvels November because I am ready for this film. So yeah, I would guess the next time we get a trailer will probably be Comic-Con. Like
yeah, probably. I mean, because it'd be after Guardians 3. Because I'm assuming
it's the last movie they can even show, like they can have that type of event before, you know, November. Because I don't, remind me again, like it's D23. Do they do it every other year, or do they do it every year now?
I think it's every other year. I don't remember hearing anything about this year happening D23, but they're gonna play this teaser definitely in front of Guardians. So this is why they put it out now, to get it in front of Guardians when that film plays. But yeah, you're probably right. Comic-Con makes the most sense for a second trailer. And I would think I mean, they might put out a trailer for Loki season 2 at that point. I don't know. I mean, who knows? Like, who knows?
What if?
Yeah, what if? Like, there's a lot of question marks about the release of the rest of this year because of Bob Iger coming back into running Disney and the whole kind of slowing down Marvel's release schedule. Like, we don't know exactly what, like, in terms of the Disney Plus side, we don't know exactly what's coming out when. Like, the fact that Lucasfilm is announcing shit at Star Wars Celebration makes me think maybe at Comic-Con we'll get confirmed from Kevin Feige, unless it's announced earlier, because it comes out soon-ish. Because I know
Celebration, that's where they can get all the Lucas stuff dates out, and then Comic-Con would be all the Marvel Studios. And
since there's no Marvel Celebration, which we don't need that. I mean, because Marvel, guess Star Wars makes sense, but Marvel doesn't need a Marvel Celebration. Secret Invasion has a release date.
Yeah, that's the only one. I wonder if, because so we're getting, let's do the math. Guardians comes out in May.
Mm-hmm.
Secret Invasion comes in June, and it wouldn't end somewhere in like July. So that would give them.
Yeah, I don't think there's that many episodes, like 6 maybe. I would assume.
Oh, I would have laughed my ass off if somehow they got Samuel Jackson to sign on for like 10 episodes. I'm like, you like listen, and that's not me saying that he's like problematic or anything like that. So because just that Samuel Jackson will not do 10 episodes because he's a legend. He doesn't need to do 10 episodes. No. The fact you even get it for 6, you should be honored. So, but yeah, I guess that maybe August they would. I feel like Loki is a fall show, and then maybe we end the year with What If.
Yeah, because when they announced the whole like slate of stuff at Comic-Con last year, Loki had like they all had like the only things that had release dates were the films. They had release windows for the shows. So I feel like Loki is probably a safe bet for this year. I think anything else is kind of up in the air in terms of what is coming out.
Because we know Disney's about to do a lot of either they have or they have already done it or they're about to do those like 7,000 layoffs or something. So like I wonder if that's going to affect Disney Plus or something.
Well, yeah. See, Loki season 2 is in September. And Echo. Well, Echo is not confirmed to be in November.
Yeah,
we don't know because Echo
and I don't
might
think
be delayed.
I don't think Loki's been confirmed either. I think that's one of those like rumor dates that like that probably comes from one of those like reliable sources that are out there. But I think again, it's like we until we hear anything, we will have to wait to see again. But I feel like I feel like the fact that they have showed Loki footage at places, that means that they're probably close to getting ready to.
They probably could release it fairly soon after Secret Invasion, but they might be holding it off due to trying to break out their release window.
Well, if they release it in September, that would kind of go into October, early November, and then you have the Marvels, and then you can do What If season 2 or just Echo, whatever it is.
Yeah, because What If realistically can come out whenever, because that's an animated project that is connected to the MCU and the multiverse side of things, but it doesn't need to take a prime MCU Disney Plus slot. It can just come out whenever. Same thing for like when they put out the Bad Batch, that they were putting it out at the same time as they were putting out the Mandalorian. Like each week you were getting a Bad Batch episode and the Mandalorian for a couple of weeks. Damn. So yeah, so the Bad Batch
has Lucasfilm ever done that?
Well, then again, it's like we haven't had a lot of Star Wars Disney Plus stuff versus Marvel's had a lot more. But I mean, it's happened. I mean, what happened where Obi-Wan and Miss Marvel were coming out at the same time at one point, so that was kind of conflicting. Does Marvel have anything between Mando season 3 and Ahsoka in August? I don't think so. I don't know. We don't know because we don't know because the Ahsoka release is a release window in August. We don't know when it's starting. So I don't know, but it's a lot. But overall, I think this teaser was good.
I love that, and the song was very catchy, and of course, like when I see Kamala's family reacting to the fantastical, the superhero stuff, and so I always just think of my parents because like my mother would not put up with Nick Fury. Like she would be like, "You're gonna step into my house. You're gonna speak with respect." And my dad would probably be like the kind of one like, "Oh, you don't." She's just very stressed or whatever, and so what. And my sister would probably just, I know, like she would be Kamala in a nutshell. But no, I love this teaser, and I'm hoping that it won't be too long till we get like that, because I guess the next is the official trailer, and then they're probably gonna do one of those like. Tickets on sale now.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. All right, let's dive into another world.
Yeah, let's jump to DC.
Yeah.
We're gonna jump to Creature Commandos because, ladies and gentlemen, we have our first full cast for the first part in James Gunn's new DC universe. And Collider broke the news this week that of the full cast that will star in Creature Commandos, which all 7 episodes have already been written according to James Gunn. And the casting list goes as follow: Frank Grillo as Rick Flag Sr., Maria Bakalova as Princess Iliana Rosovic. Oh, good Lord, there's a lot of names I cannot say here. Yeah. Indria Varma as the bride, Zoe Chow as Nina Mazursky, Alan Tudyk as Dr. Help.
Phosphorus.
Thank you. Daddy David Harbour as Eric Frankenstein, and Sean Gunn will be back both as Weasel and playing a new character named G.I. Robot. I just made the connection. What the heck? Are they legally allowed to use that? G.I.?
I mean, I don't know when G.I. Robot was made versus G.I. Joe. I would say that it can be because you're not making a character that's trying to be G.I. Joe. It's a robot. I guess there's like a distinction. I don't know.
And lastly, Steve Agee will be reprising the role of John Economos from Suicide Squad and Peacemaker. He's one of my faves. Jordan, you and I, we don't know shit about this property.
No.
We have this image. That's it. I'm mostly excited for David Harbour and Frank Grillo and Alan Tudyk. But that also kind of has me a little worried because David Harbour is in Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
Is it? I mean, the thing is, he could do both. That's fine. He could do
Mm-hmm.
both theoretically, but at the same time, it's like because Thunderbolts is their Suicide Squad, so
it's interesting. I think ultimately it boils down to I think that David Harbour would not be allowed to do this unless his Marvel contract allowed him to. And I'm assuming because I think there was a thing to where Kevin Feige was asked about it or something, or James Gunn was asked about it, and there's no like competing clause where they can't, like because actors can work on multiple projects as long as they want.
Here's a catch for this one because so everything DC Studios animated will connect. They will go like these actors that we have voicing them. They will play them in live action too. So I wonder if one of those things of like he's allowed to voice him for now, but until he's finished, like let's say if he's getting killed off in Thunderbolt, he cannot physically play this character in DC in live action until he's completed his Thunderbolts shooting schedule or whatever.
If they were shooting something Creature Commando for live action, yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's why I'm like, they're like, you can go do this project, but if you're doing anything live action, you have to wait until you're done with Thunderbolts. Then you can go do live action. So let's say they're like, let's put him in Superman Legacy. But like, no, you can't be in that because you're going to be filming Thunderbolts at that time.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure since his first contract he did was with Marvel back for Black Widow, and I'm assuming he signed a multi-picture deal. I'm guessing, who knows, maybe it was a one-picture deal, and then they have to keep basically do a new contract per appearance. That since the Marvel contract was first, that's the priority. That he can't do something live action unless he's not currently filming Marvel. That's my guess.
Weird. He's gonna do Thunderbolts later this year. When is he gonna get time to do Stranger Things season 6, 5? Which season is it?
5. Yeah,
season 5.
That's a good question too. I don't know. That's a really good question.
Because he's like one of the lead characters on that show. Yeah, he's not like
he is one of the leads. He's one of the fan favorites. He's a busy man. That's all. I think here's the thing. I think Creature Commandos is not going to be a live action.
Yeah,
a live action thing for a bit. So that's probably why he was able to do this, because he doesn't have to worry about physical appearance right now. So it's just now.
Here's the thing, because if we look at, let's see, which one is it? If you look at the picture, I think the one he's playing,
Eric Frankenstein.
That one. I mean, they could do what they did with Robot Man and Negative Man on Doom Patrol. That someone is in like in Swamp Thing. That someone is in like the prosthetic and costume and CGI whatever, and then he just does the voice. That could be like how they're like, you can do both because they're not going to see your face. But like Frank Grillo, like someone that's it's harder to be like you can do.
Yeah, Keanu says that Stranger Things season 5 starts filming in June, so I don't know
when that started.
No, I wonder when Thunderbolts is going to start shooting. That's a good question.
That's late. I believe it's in the summer or the fall.
Yeah, he's going to have to juggle that because he's going to shoot Thunderbolts as well as Stranger Things season 5 at the same time. So I bet that they've already have a schedule out when they're shooting Thunderbolts, when they need him on set versus when they need him on set for Stranger Things. And they're
going to start filming on June 12th.
Yeah. So
how the fuck is he doing both of these?
It's a scheduling thing. Like that's
wait, hold on. Guys in the chat, he's not fucking with me right now, trying not to say that he did, like that Harbour died or something in season 4 one night. Like, he trying? Okay, so he's alive. He's still okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because he knows I'm getting ready to start watching the show, so I'm just thought like, oh, he's just trying to be nice to me, not spoil.
No, the thing is that that it's probably literally a scheduling thing because this multiple studios work with each other depending on the actor, so that they can shoot multiple things at once or 2 things at once. They have to just schedule out when they're appearing, when they're not on set. So I'm assuming whenever he's not filming Stranger Things, he's not available. They're going to be shooting other people's stuff that he's not a part of. But in terms of like the overall cast, I think Frank Grillo as Rick Flag Sr., like that is not surprising because that was kind of theorized because he already basically said he was joining DC. So that kind of made it obvious that he was doing something that was about to happen. In terms of everybody else, interesting casting for sure. I think Alan Tudyk is a really interesting casting for Dr. Phosphorus.
He does a lot of he's done a lot of DC stuff now.
He has. He was in Doom Patrol. He's also, well, it's not confirmed, but I think he's playing K2SO again for Andor season 2. But Sean Gunn. I mean, you kind of knew that Sean Gunn was going to be sticking around, and
Well, because Weasel didn't die. So, yeah, Weasel was
well,
alive.
that, but also it's just like James is not gonna not have his brother in it somewhere. But the fact he's also GI Robot is interesting as well. I think his GI Robot's going to be a animated character when they do like a CG character when they go to live action. That's my guess. We'll see. But interesting cast. I think it's a good lineup in terms of actors. And I think because he had said something when he was announcing the kind of projects back during the announcement of DCU.
Okay.
Yeah, James Gunn. He said that most actors are going to be carrying over to live action from animation voicing. And I think all of these actors will carry over. I feel like he might mean down the road, there might be an instance where an actor is physically not able to do the character and they're going to get someone else. But I think with this cast, they're going to be in live action.
Like if someone is old and they can't, like, let's say they got like, I don't know, Ian McKellen to play like, voice Swamp Thing or something, and they're going to have Swamp. Like, I mean, just that would be so random, but also kind of hilarious. But like, let's say he would voice Swamp Thing, and then they're going to have him in live action. Well, they're obviously not going to put poor Ian McKellen in, like, I mean, Ian McKellen is tiny, y'all. Like, I stood next to the nice man. Like, he's not that tall, so like, he's not going to put on like a big Swamp Thing suit and just like, you shall not pass the swamp. But
can you imagine?
Could you? That would kind of be iconic.
You cannot pass the swamp.
But no, but this again, I feel like this is their version of Doom Patrol in a lot of ways. So like again, because I remember like when Doom Patrol was like being talked about for Titan, I'm like, who are these characters and why are they being on Titans? And then look, they're now one of the most beloved franchises of all time. So like, I'm looking forward to see what they do. And again, I fucking just love Frank Grillo. A movie you all should watch is Warrior. I think I believe this is one that. What was his name? Oh my god, he plays Bane, Venom.
Oh, Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy, yeah. So, Warrior is a great movie. So go check it out. We have a super chat. Do we want to save it until we get to?
We'll bring it real fast. I definitely this is our last topic. Thank you, Josh, for the super chat. I love the Harry Potter movies as a kid, but as an adult, they are mediocre book adaptations. I thought the story was better suited for TV all along, and if you read the books, you know that too. Yes, that's something I'm actually going to be addressing when we get to that, because that'll be our last topic, our fifth topic of the night. But thank you so much, Josh, for the support. And I do agree with you to an extent. Besides, I think the movies are a good adaptation, but I get your point. But we'll definitely have a lot more to discuss, Josh. So stick around. Stick around. But thank you for the support, Josh. So let's dive back into some more DC. We're going to move over here to the Penguin in production teaser. Now, this was something that was announced alongside a big announcement, which we'll get to next, about the overall service. But I really like this. And I think it's interesting as well because they could have easily shortened it to where it's just an actual teaser, but they called it in production, showing some behind the scenes stuff. But a lot of it was just like scenes from the Penguin. And instantly I got the tone of the Batman in this. And like visually, it reminded me of the Batman. Like it's pretty much going along with how the Batman looked on the big screen and really adapting it well to fit for streaming for this series. And I got more excited for this show because of how dark I was figuring it was going to be. But like Colin Farrell's the Penguin is just great. He's so good as this role. And I'm curious to see how all of these characters, how they tie in. I mean, I forget his name on the end over there, but he's been in so many good things.
Man of Steel.
Yeah, he was like that. That's something to point out. He was in Man of Steel. Now he's in the Penguin. But yeah, I mean, I'm thinking that these characters will pop up in the Batman too, potentially. I'm thinking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But what did you think of the in production teaser for the Penguin? Because I didn't know this was coming until the event.
Yeah, I think this looks very, very cool. Like again, because I was always curious about why are we doing a Penguin show, but then I saw Batman and I'm like, okay, Colin Farrell has already won me over as Penguin. So and I think it's kind of nice that we're again, because one thing that I haven't agreed with David Zaslav is his like consistent idea of that, that we need to focus less on streaming and more on theatrical. That just doesn't work. And the fact is that we can now do the Batman universe on the big screen and the small screen. This teaser proves it right away. And I'm really curious to see the actors who played the mother and How I Met Your Mother to play Sophia Falcone, because I'm still used to Crystal Reed as Sophia Falcone from Gotham. So that's gonna be really, really interesting. But yeah, it feels like a kind of like a mafia gangster DC drama, and that will kind of like set up what we're doing. You know, what's happening between the Batman 1 and the Batman 2, so that once we get to the Batman Part 2 in 2025, we kind of have an idea of like where is Gotham at this point. So I dug it. Also like the fact that I can't say her last name, but Shora, who's an amazing Persian actress. She like is basically playing the rival to the Penguin. I'm like, this is so fucking iconic, because like we never see Persians as like mobsters or like, you know, like gangsters or like, you know, badass bosses. So I'm digging it. I'm digging it. So and I know there were some people that were like really pissed off for some reason that it's going to be in 2024, but I'm like, guys, this type of show isn't easy to film. Like, they're not even like, the reason they're calling in production teasers because they're not even halfway done filming. So
yeah, I'm wondering how many episodes it's going to be. I wonder if we 8. Okay, and I'm assuming they're going to be long episodes. So yeah, it's going to take some time to shoot.
I mean, this is something I honestly would show on HBO.
Yeah, I'm surprised they're not. I'm surprised they're not. But they may change though.
Because that could be something. Because remember when this is how last minute things can change. When the deal came out that CW and DC Universe were going to co-stream Stargirl for season 1, like that wasn't far out from when we actually got season 1. So like I could see them doing that too with
I could see them definitely airing the Penguin on HBO and have it release at the same time for HBO or for Max. So
because there's no House of Dragon this fall. There's no Last of Us. There is no True Detective anymore. I think that got canceled.
There's a True Detective spinoff that was
right, but it hasn't been filmed. So I'm guessing that we haven't.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it depends on when it releases. Because if House of the Dragon season 2 supposedly is coming out next year, it would just depend on when the Penguin comes out. Like depending on when it's going to air or release weekly. But they could literally make it an HBO show because of the tone and how it is mature. Okay, this is not a show that you can let your little kids watch. This is definitely in the veins. You think it's gonna be a TVMA, or
is that like for like 15 and up?
Basically, yeah, the high rating for adults only.
Yeah. I mean, because I know that with the Batman, it was like a hard PG-13 rating, but with this, like because it's going to a streaming service, they can do more things that is easier than they can do on in theatrical. That's why I'm like, I would be shocked if we don't see this on HBO. Plus, I also think that Warner Bros. Needs to realize that just because something is a comic book property or DC, whatever, that it's like it's not prestige enough to be on HBO. We literally had Watchmen, so it's like why can't we do that with the other shows that are coming up? Why can't we do that with Penguin? Like you get more eyeballs on that.
It might happen, but it also might depend on where it's being produced at, because even though it's all under Warner Brothers, this might be a HBO Max production, and HBO wasn't the ones that were kind of shepherding it and all that. That may be the difference, because they are separate entities. Like it is technically, well, like HBO is its own studio that's a part of the Warner Brothers umbrella, now a part of Discovery. So they are the ones who are basically in control of like, okay, so we have House of the Dragon, we got the Game of Thrones stuff, we got this show, this, they got like, because you can go to the HBO section of HBO Max and see their particular content that is under their umbrella, that's under their production studio. Well, I don't think the Penguin is. I think the Penguin is under what HBO Max Studio is. They're under their production label, so that may be why it won't air on HBO. But
the Penguin is produced by Reed Six and Hyder Productions and Dylan Clark Productions. So Warner Bros. Television release.
Yeah, so
this is under Warner Bros. Television. So I guess that Warner Bros. Television and HBO, they would have to make a deal.
Yeah, they would have to agree to air the Penguin on Sundays on HBO, and then it'd be same on Max. I mean, that's the deal that HBO has with the streaming service. Obviously, it's all under the umbrella, so they would have to agree to have, okay, The Last of Us airs on our cable at 9. The episode goes up at 9 on HBO Max.
Yeah.
So, but with this, they would have to figure out a deal for this, since it's not an HBO technically.
Yeah.
Even though it is dark and it seems like an HBO, it's technically not an HBO. But
Yeah. Well, it's not too late, so they could always make that deal. But let's get confused as fuck, y'all. Well, not confused. I mean, it's both good and bad. I mean, it's a mixed bag. But we're gonna. So it's finally official. HBO Max is becoming Max.
And those are all axes, by the way, in that image. All those axes.
Oh my god, I didn't even see them until now. Wow.
Those are axes.
So let's there was a lot announced. So first of all, Max will be launched on May 23rd, and I quote when I'm reading on their fact sheet: "Can I stream Max if I'm already an HBO Max or Discovery Plus subscriber? All HBO Max subscribers will have access to Max. Check out this FAQ page to get ready for May 23rd. On Max launch day, a large portion of subscribers will have their apps automatically updated to Max. Others will need to download the updated Max app to access the expanded catalog. HBO Max subscribers will have their previous profiles, settings, watch history, continue watching, and my list items waiting for them to stream on Max. Discovery Plus subscriber can sign up as new Max customer for an expanded catalog. We will offer ample opportunities for them to check out Max by providing extended free trial and other promotional offers." And then what is the subscription package? So we have, this is the dumbest thing I've ever read. So it seems anyone right. So first we have Max Adlight for $9.99 a month. 2 concurrent streams, 1080p resolution, no offline downloads, 5.1 surround sound quality. Then we have Max ad-free, 2 concurrent streams, 1080 resolution, 30 offline downloads, 5.1 sound quality for $59.99 a month. And then I don't understand. Max Ultimate ad-free, 4 concurrent streams up to 4K UHD resolution, 100 offline downloads, Dolby Atmos sound quality for $99.99 a month. What the fuck is Ultimate ad-free? It's either ad-free or it's not ad-free. What do you mean it's Ultimate ad-free?
I don't know. It's definitely a lot.
It's a lot. So some things that did get announced. So for fans of the Conjuring universe, a new show is being developed for that universe with Peter Safran as an executive producer, and James Wan is in talks to serve as an executive producer as well. And then for all you Game of Thrones fans out there, you want more prequels? You're getting more prequels. A show called, this is a long title, A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms: The Hedge Knight. That's gonna be a long handle on social media. And they've already given him a series order, and it was announced alongside their Max streaming service. And the logline goes: a century for the events of Game of Thrones. 2 unlikely heroes wandered Westeros, whatever the fuck that is. A young native courageous knight, Sir Duncan the Tall. Wait a minute. The Tall is a last name in the Game of Thrones universe?
I think that's just like a name. Like it's not
Sir Duncan the Tall.
I don't know.
Wow. And his diminutive square egg, set in an age where the Targaryen line still holds the Iron Throne and the memory of the last dragon has not yet passed from living memory, great destinies, powerful foes, and dangerous exploits all await these improbable and incomparable friends. George R. Martin will serve as writer and executive producer. Ira Parker will serve as a writer and executive producer. Ryan Condal and Vince Guardias will serve as executive producers, and that's all we know. Wow. Okay. Then there's a Big Bang Theory sequel spinoff happening. Because everyone was asking for it. We don't know anything about the plot. Chuck Lorre is getting another paycheck. Good for him. And that's kind of all is relevant for us who are watching in this multiverse, and we will get to the final topic after this. You start. I don't know what the fuck to say about some of these things.
There's a lot of question marks about why you drop HBO from the name, because now it's been established for years as HBO Max. That's the streaming service. That's been the name. At first, it was confusing because it came out at a time where you can get HBO, HBO Go, HBO Now, and then all of a sudden HBO Max. But see, HBO Now converted to HBO Max, but not everywhere. HBO Now was still available in places, but not HBO Max. It was really confusing at a time. But now, HBO Max is the established name for the content. Now, they're like, okay, we're going to drop HBO because we're going to have more variety of content. We're adding Discovery stuff into the service. And here, I read this somewhere. And then some announcements were really 180 turnarounds for this damn company. So what I read somewhere, some executive was doing an interview around all these announcements saying that the reason why HBO, the name was removed, was because of HBO was seen as an adult brand and it was turning away families and kids, like because of they were thinking that there's not kid or family content. And then we saw with all these announcements that they have a variety of things that are coming for kids, for families to enjoy. And I'm sitting there going, you fucking pieces of shit. And the reason why I'm saying that is because this is the fucking company months ago during tax write-offs, cutting shows, axing shows, canceling shit left and right that was kid content that they didn't want on their platform or they didn't want to release anywhere. This is the same company that's now turning around going, oh, wait a minute, we fucked up. We're pushing away a demographic. We're pushing away a target audience from our service. So we're going to drop the name and announce a bunch of projects for kids and families to enjoy, because we were actually hurting ourselves because we were cutting all this shit and canceling shit and then stopping stuff from being made because we don't want to have, because it was looking like HBO Max was going to be placed with Warner Bros. Discovery saying this is more for adults, teens and adults, not for kids and families to enjoy. And now they're like, well, hold, never mind, guys. It's Max now. We have kid content. You know, we love that target demographic. We love kids. We love families. It's just really, it's really sad because they realize, oh, we fucked up because we just removed a bunch of shit that families were enjoying, kids were enjoying, and now we have to backtrack and eat our fucking words. We were wrong. So this is on Zaslav. This is on him for realizing, oh, we fucked up. Oh, we fucked up. So now we have to fix it. So in all this commotion of, oh, we have all these announcements, it just goes to show that this company was just not thinking. They were thinking about the money. They weren't thinking about the fact, oh, we're actually hurting our business overall with cutting content and fucking up creatives and stopping things from being released. So, and this is not about Batgirl. I'm talking about all these other things that were cut because it was kid content, it was family content, and that's not what we want on our platform. Oh, wait, we're losing subscribers. Oh, our company's in the shit now with our fucking stocks. We fucked up. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly. Heavily butchered organization. Well, not HBO, but they heavily butchered their fucking shit. They went too far. But what are you thoughts on that part of it? I mean, I don't know if you thought about that, but that's
no, I did think about that. I'm like, I wonder if this might mean that they're gonna start bringing back some things that they can't, like, you know, because they could uncancel stuff. Like, it's not impossible.
Yeah, if it was not tax fraud, if it was just canceled, you know.
Yeah. So, I mean, this also kind of explains why I think Warner Bros. Television pushed for a deal with Amazon when it comes to DC content. You know, because sometimes not all divisions talk to each other. So I wonder if Warner Bros. TV was like, well, I guess we're screwed on HBO Max, so let's just go somewhere else.
That's a good point. What if they're regretting that now?
I don't know. For me, you know, all these shows that we got announced, you know, like, I mean, I didn't really. I mean, the only one I really care for was Penguin, because I'm never gonna watch Game of Thrones. I don't care about Big Bang Theory anymore, and you know, I know they're doing an It prequel, but like, I love the It movies, but I don't need a prequel. But The name is what bothers me the most.
Mhm.
Let me just correct this one first of all. Warner Bros. TV did
I
not
figured you were.
cancel The Flash.
I figured you were gonna pull it up.
It's coming to an end. You
Yeah, it's
don't
ending.
cancel something after 9 seasons. You cancel something like tomorrow. But what? What am I wrong? Was that not what happened?
No, I just love. I always thought you were gonna say like they should cancel Gotham Knights, but no, you went led. That's
Well, I like Gotham Knights. So,
uh,
but yeah, for me, the Max name, how are you gonna market it? What does Max speak to in terms of any of these properties? Who the fuck is gonna think Game of Thrones, Max?
you know how they're gonna market Max? They've already showed their slogan for it. Max, the place to watch HBO. That's the marketing slogan. Max, the place to watch HBO.
I don't like that.
That's what they're rolling with.
Christ. Well, again, I don't like the name, but the thing is, I know I'm gonna keep saying HBO Max by
Oh, yeah.
accident whenever but it's like, if this means we can finally start getting some. The thing is, because we've been following Warner Bros. For the last couple of months, and it's been so much chaos there that I'm like, are they ever gonna find like any harmony over there? And I feel like Max, whether I like the name or not, I feel like it is the right step in the right. It's a step in the right direction for some peaceful content creating, and
yeah, because the name ultimately doesn't matter. It's like, what content are they going to produce for it? Like, what changes they're going to make? Because I didn't even think about this too. Somebody brought this up saying, if you think about other streaming services, when you're watching a show, it gives you recommendations. HBO Max doesn't give you really any recommendations for content that you're watching. Like, oh, you're like this, maybe you should watch this. It's like more like you have to just search it up. You gotta just go find stuff.
And that's probably something they're gonna add to
Yeah.
so that they can like, because it needs to be they need to make this work. They need to make this work way better now. So I mean, from their app standpoint. So
Mhm.
yeah, I'm just ready for shows not to get canceled anymore and just to actually start getting produced so we can get forward. And speaking of shows getting produced, there was one more
There
item we heard
was.
about.
Yeah, and I forgot to mention it, but the Big Bang Theory thing. No, we don't need that shit. Like, Hollywood's running out of ideas. That's the problem. Because I don't know if you saw as well, they're doing a remake of Baywatch. I don't know if you saw that today. That came out.
They're
Yeah.
doing another. Didn't they just do a remake like years ago?
They did a remake movie with The Rock and everything. Yeah, but they're doing a remake of Baywatch. I guess it's for TV. I don't fucking know. And it's like Hollywood's running out of ideas. Like literally they just keep remake. And then because I tweeted, eventually this remake will be remade by another remake down the road. But we have one more thing that's a pretty big thing. I'm curious to know what you all think about this. This is a big piece of news here. Harry Potter's being rebooted for TV. And this is all new cast. And this is the rumor that happened a while ago, the report about each season was going to be a book. So 7 seasons total, a book for each season. Now, no specification in terms of how many episodes. That's too far away. I would assume 8, 10, probably 8, depending on if it's like an hour each. But then the question is, okay, is this what Harry Potter fans want? I think the answer is no. I think there's a lot of Harry Potter fans, because I made a TikTok about this when the news dropped, and the video got a little bit of attraction. There was a number of people commenting saying this has the chance to be a dumpster fire or really good. They're kind of mixed. There's other people that are saying they don't want Harry Potter rebooted. And we had gotten that super chat earlier. I'm going to pull it back up here when I go find it. From Josh Z here, who says he loves the movies as a kid, but as an adult, they are mediocre book adaptations. And the reason why he's mentioning this is because I think the adaptations from book to movie were good. However, a lot of stuff was omitted because at a certain point, you can't include every single plot thread that's established in the books. It just can't. Because at some point,
4 hours. It will be like 4 hours. So.
Yeah, because they split the last book into 2. Realistically, they could have been splitting each book from 4 through 7 into 2 movies each time. They could have done Goblet of Fire in 2 films. They could have done Order of Phoenix in 2 films. Half-Blood Prince, 2 films. Of course, Deathly Hallows got 2 films. They could have been doing that because of how big those books are, because 1, 2, and 3, they were on the shorter side.
Is
But
Goblet of Fire really that long though? Because I feel like Goblet of Fire is so basic that I'm like, I would do it with
Well-
Order of Phoenix, but I wouldn't do it with like I would go from 5, 6,
well,
7.
if you look at like how much, like how big the books are in terms of its printing versus the first 3, Goblet of Fire is a bigger book. But I get your point. There's some stories you could condense down, and I feel like the adaptations are good. There's a lot because like if those films were not great, people didn't love those adaptations of what they did, they would not have been huge successes. But in terms of this, you're asking the fans who just recently, a couple of years ago, saw the reunion special on HBO Max, now Max. They saw that, and now you're asking them, okay, now we're going to introduce you to Harry Potter again in TV form with a whole brand new cast. I think it's going to be a tough thing they got to push through. And if they're committed, they're going to put a lot of money into this, and they got to know it's an uphill battle, because this is going to be them fighting all along the way, all the negativity about them trying to do this again with new actors. The question is, are they going to have any cast from the films play another role?
Dan Radcliffe as James Potter, just to die.
I mean, look, I get that point, but I mean, I would prefer them not to do that. I mean, the one exception is the Wednesday show that got Christina Ricci in season 1 of Wednesday. That's the one exception I'll say, because
enough time had passed.
It was so far removed. You're basically saying, okay, here's a grown-up Emma Watson who was Hermione, and here's her playing a teacher that's in a couple of scenes. It would just be so jarring to people because, oh, that's Hermione, and then instantly you're going to go to the idea of why didn't they do like a grown-up Harry Potter film, like a new story or something for these?
You know what I wanted? I wanted a Marauders show. If we were going to do anything with Harry Potter, and like, why don't we just do something like? I would have loved to see the Marauders.
I mean, you could also do a story with Harry's kids, which I think that's the cursed child. That's what that was.
Let's not put bad ideas.
Well, I'm just saying, don't do cursed child, but I'm saying that's what that was. Like they had on the kids. I'm saying they could do something original, not cursed child, but something original.
But didn't you hear what she said? Well, she said cursed child is canon to her book, so we're stuck with it. And you know how sensitive she is to her source material being tampered with. So it's like she shot herself in the foot with this one. That's why I'm like, I don't want cursed child.
Okay. Well, I mean, the thing is too, there was a lot of questions, and I'm curious. Did you see the Fantastic Beasts films or no?
I saw the first one. I liked it, and then I fell asleep during the second one.
Okay, I actually recently saw the third one this week. Finally, I saw The Secrets of Dumbledore, and the thing I'll say is that I think the problem with those movies, I think Fantastic Beasts, the first one, it's okay. It's interesting to try something in this world. It's different, but try to do something within the world of Harry Potter. Okay.
Yeah, there's nothing connecting besides Dumbledore. There's nothing connected to those characters.
But then I think what people were really wanting was probably something more to do with Hogwarts, even though we saw Hogwarts a bit in those films. But I think people would really gravitate more towards, okay, we're going to follow a new set of characters in the world of Hogwarts. And I think that's why Hogwarts Legacy was so successful, because of you're in the school and you're following new characters. So it's a whole brand new world and whole brand new characters to explore. Obviously new world in terms of its Hogwarts, but still you're following all new characters. I feel like maybe a Harry Potter show that's not Harry Potter, following set of characters, maybe like 50, 60 years. So maybe in between Legacy and in between Harry Potter, we follow a group of kids or something that are in Hogwarts, that are starting in, or maybe they're halfway through their schooling or something. I don't know. There's possibilities without, okay, let's just reboot and try Harry Potter again. I don't know. It's
then there's the J.K. Rowling of it all. Like Casey Bloys, who's the chairman and CEO for HBO and Max Content. he gave a very tone-deaf statement when asked about, all the controversy around J.K. Rowling, and he dodged it by saying that this is more of an online conversation, which again, like boy, does that man need to be media trained, because like you don't say that, especially when you have a bunch of trades surrounding you. Like I just, for him to go this, I don't think this is the forum. Very online conversation, nuanced and complicated, not something we're not going to get into. It's like, okay, I get it. You're there because it's announcement day, it's launch day. We're gonna, promote these things, so you have advertisers. So I get it, but it is so disrespectful and so disgusting that it's like, we all know that her beliefs are wrong. She's a horrible person. Again, I get why she's an executive producer. It's her property. Fair enough. It's her property. It's her legal right. But you don't have to stand there and somehow like make it seem like you're actually defending her, or tell the rest of society that are having conversation about this issue that is hurting a specific community that this is an online conversation. I swear, sometimes white men are the dumbest fucks. I do not understand. I didn't say you.
I know you're meaning me. I know. Well, my thing is like, okay, you're making this giant announcement of Harry Potter. She's involved. She's not the showrunner, but she's involved.
Yeah, I love how they had to be specifically, she is not the showrunner.
Yeah.
She is not the showrunner.
Yeah, well, I think also, too, it's like J.K. Rowling can't be a showrunner. She wrote the Fantastic Beasts films. We saw how those weren't doing well. So she can't be trusted to showrun a show. She's never done it. She shouldn't be allowed to. So that's probably why, as well, they had to make a point to go, she's involved, but she's not showrunning because she can't, because we can't give her that much power over this, because it would probably be too much. But I think they should have been aware this was going to come up, and it probably was going to come up. So they probably should have had a better answer than what he gave, or simply say, we have no comment on this. But I think that would have been a bad answer.
That's just as bad. That's just as bad.
Yeah. So I don't know how, because here's the thing: they're working with her. They can't, like, I get the point. Okay, her opinions are wrong, and yeah. So, but they're also working with her. So the question is, okay, how do you address that specifically? Because he's speaking for the company when he was answering questions. So
chairman and CEO of HBO and Max Content.
Yeah. So when he's speaking for the whole company. He's not speaking individually. So how do you answer that question? Because you're working with her. Like, that's why this show is even happening, because she signed off on it. It's her property. So he can't sit there and give his own personal beliefs. He also can't sit there and bash her, because if he was to actually respond in a way to where we don't support her opinions on that subject, she could easily back out and say no. I bet there's a clause to where she could cancel the contract. I don't know. It's her property, so who the fuck knows? But they're literally in a really weird situation, because they could not have made this show or announced that they're developing the show without her say so. So they have to work with her. They can't not do it. Like the reunion on HBO Max with the Harry Potter cast. The 2019. But the point is, that would not have been made without her permission. So all these things are like, they're trying to distance. And the thing is, I bet when they approached her if we want to do a Harry Potter series, we want to reboot and try to do the books as a television series, she was like, okay, I'll allow you guys to do it, but I have to have a say so. I have to be a part of the team that's developing it, and I'll be in the writer's room. They can't say no, because it's her thing. If they really want to do it and they see a profit, which I think if it is good, it'll be a profit. It'll be worth.
This is going to be a profit no matter what. Like, no matter people, if it's good or not, it's going to be a profit. What I'm hoping, I'm giving the benefit of the doubt here, is that I'm hoping that as long as this show is up and running, that this show is airing, this show is production, anything and so on, that they have something in her contract as a clause of like, you cannot go and speak on these issues anymore. something like that, being like, you cannot like misrepresent us because when
Mm.
you say this, you represent also this brand for us.
That's a good point as well, because right now, when she's been tweeting all these years, there's not been a Harry Potter film in production or in theaters. Like, it's now been recent. So now maybe that is the case. There's probably a back and forth. We'll allow you, like, we will agree to your terms. But just like with the Gina Carano situation with Disney with Mandalorian, there are certain things you cannot do, or else we're gonna have to sever the. Because imagine
She wouldn't
if,
lose the right, but she could get fired. Be like, you can, like, we can do the show without you if you break this clause.
Interesting. Yes, there's probably a back and forth, but yeah, his wording was bad. I think in general, they should have been more prepared for that question. Maybe they thought it wouldn't be addressed because it's like, okay, we're in a room full of people.
Then they're dumb fucks.
Well, yeah, but who knows? Like I said, we don't know what they were thinking behind the scenes. In terms of, okay, we're going to come out on this day with the Max announcement to announce the Harry Potter show officially.
I'm going to address this. Defunct, I'm going to give you a wake-up call. In Hollywood, money talks.
That's true.
If she got a buttload of money for this deal, listen, people can be bought. I've seen it in this industry specifically, and it's not pretty. So
we thought Gina Carano was getting paid well enough. Apparently not. You saw how that worked out.
What is she doing now these days?
Movies that are not going to theaters.
Yeah.
And Josh has a good point here. No author would sell the rights, like, because someone mentioned, like, you know, could she sell the rights? No, she would never do that. And I'm wondering who's going to get the rights when she passes on. Does she have an estate or something? I don't know if she has children. I don't know.
She has kids.
I didn't know, but it's big, this is big news. We'll see what happens. Yeah.
If anything, here's what I hope. I hope the show will be great. I hope that they do a wonderful job and they cast, good people. They write good stories, and they honor whatever they wasn't able to bring up in the books, in the films from the books. But then afterwards, this could maybe lead to a Potterverse of where we could see other corners of the Harry Potter universe in present time, like no more prequels or whatever. And so, but like if like this could lead on to something more, that's what my hope is.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I understand people who are upset about this, and it's like anything. I wasn't completely thrilled with this news. I am very torn about it because I love Harry Potter. Like it's the thing. As a creator, she's created a wonderful world of characters that I grew up with. I read Harry Potter books. Like I didn't read a lot of books growing up, but Harry Potter was something I read, massively. But as a person, as a human being, like I'm disgusted that someone in her position and with her power is saying these harmful things at a time where the trans community are in danger more than ever. I mean, almost every marginalized community is. But like this is the woman, like she went from being nothing to a global phenomenon, one of the biggest billionaires in the world, and this is how she used her platform. So we will see what happens. Do you think this will be a show that airs on
HBO?
Yeah, wait, Jake. I meant no more prequels in terms of the original Harry Potter universe. Like I'm okay, like if they're starting fresh.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Marauders, they could have done that as a new universe, so that's what I meant. Do you think this could be a show that will co-air on HBO and Max?
It's possible. It depends on how big of a budget. I'm assuming they'll give it a lot of money, so it's possible. I guess it would depend on. I'm assuming tone-wise, it's going to be probably in that PG-13, TV-14, where. Young kids maybe shouldn't watch it, but I'm guessing they'll make it to where it's not too crazy until it gets later on in the books where it gets more intense. But I would think it's probably a safe bet that they would, because it would definitely give it more traction, because I think that's what really helped House of the Dragon, is because of it airing on HBO when it aired its first season. It really helped with the viewing numbers and showed how big of a show it is, because they can get the internal numbers of HBO Max, but like having it air on HBO benefited the House of the Dragon. So I feel like this is probably going to be something they would put on the cable network to kind of help show how big it is, because regardless of the backlash leading up to the show coming out, because House of Dragon had a lot of negativity surrounding it because there was a lot of people that disliked season 8, the final season of Game of Thrones. And I was one of them, but I was still interested in House of Dragon. But there's a lot of people that are like, but that first episode came out and people were like, holy crap, okay. And a lot of people tuned in. This show is going to have a lot of people tuning in. So I would think they would put on HBO, because a lot of people are going to want to check out the first episode to see what's really going on here. We'll see.
But those are all the fucking news. Thank goodness.
All the news. Are you ready to dive into some Q&A, sir?
Let's do some Q&A.
Let's get in some Q&A. Q&A. Ask us questions or we'll fucking leave.
I can't do a dance, whatever.
Okay. Well, welcome to Q&A, guys. We're here. Thank you, John So, for the super chat. Thank you. They should have gone with an original story, Harry Potter. Well, that would be better, but I feel like okay, think about this. That game was really successful. Imagine if they were to take another swing at an original thing, even though Fantastic Beasts was a book, but they expanded it to all this other prequel stuff with those 3 movies. If they did a show that's completely original, I would personally like that. However, would it be as successful than adapting a classic book series into TV form? The question is, don't know. We wouldn't know, because House of the Dragon was successful, and it was taken out of a little blurb out of the Fire and Blood, that prequel book that George wrote, and they made that into now 2 seasons, potentially 3 and 4 maybe total with these characters in this timeline. So the question is, would a prequel or some sort of original story work? I don't know, but it is Q&A time.
It is Q&A time.
Q&A time. Can you answer that question or no?
I can say yes.
Okay, there you go. Question, Defunct. Have you guys seen the new trailer that came out for the Muppets Mayhem series? I have not. I have not seen it.
Saw something on Twitter today about it, but like I was never into the Muppets that much, so.
Gotcha. Thank you for the super chat again, John Snow. Thank you so much. Thank you for the support. Prediction: the TV show will adapt Cursed Child. That would have to get
if they after season 7.
Yeah, after they get through 7 seasons, and I'm assuming they wouldn't. I'm gonna say no.
Can you imagine, like, how often do we hear a show getting basically a 7th season pickup? It's not. I mean, I know we're not. That's like not exactly what happened. We know like this company is going to be stubborn to make it happen anyway. So, so it's funny.
Don't know if he was asked the last stream, but I don't think anybody asked the last week. But I did see the teaser for My Adventures Superman.
It looks fun.
Yeah, it's really short, but yes. Oh God.
What?
Look who's here? Look who's here.
Oh, that's something word I'm saying. Oh God.
Yes. Oh God. It's Canadagraphs.
do we wanna bring him on?
If he wants to join,
he's always nice letting us come on this show.
Yeah. I'll send it to him on Twitter. Let's see. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I am having some serious stomach pains. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Do you need to be excused?
I don't know. I've been having stomach pains since we started the show.
Super from Jake. Jake, it's so good to see you. Thank you for the super chat.
Oh, sorry, Canada. Sorry about that. He just messaged he has sore throat. Sorry, man.
Hope you guys have been doing good. Sorry I missed the last couple of shows. I will say this though. I'll have a surprise for you both during the show next week. That I think. So we don't. There's no show next week.
Oh, you're taking a break too? Okay.
Yeah, because school is getting a little more intense now. So
yeah, and I'm starting my vacation next Wednesday. So I'm sorry, Jake. Sorry, we won't be.
Can you wait till when we're back?
Yeah, we'll be back the following week after that. But yeah,
thank you for the super chat. Thank you.
Thank you for supporting. Thank you. Kia's got a good point. Who's gonna be the first person? Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
If they do, I will give them one of these.
Thank you, R. Yeah, that was a good episode. That was a good episode. Can't wait. I'm gonna start editing on it tomorrow, I think. Well, no, I got more stuff to work on first. Well, whatever you're working on, man, I'm excited. Whatever it is. Let's see. Well, the CW upfront's coming up. Do you think? Oh yeah, when is the upfronts next month? Or
yeah, it's usually May.
Okay. I mean, well, they're asking about season 4. I mean, we don't know. I don't know.
No comment.
Oh. Okay. No comment, guys. I don't know. I don't know what that means. Is Oliver Queen your favorite Arrowverse character, and how hyped do you see him in upcoming new Flash episode? Well, I mean, he's my personal favorite Arrowverse character, and I'm really excited to see him in the Flash episode. And that's that. Are you excited for the Percy Jackson series?
Peter Jackson.
Peter Jackson series.
Director of Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
You shall not pass on Disney Plus.
Exactly. I mean, I didn't read the books. I know they made a couple of movies. I didn't see them though. But
do you know who Logan Lerman is?
He was the lead. Was he the lead in those movies?
He was the lead, but the joke is because remember how James Gunn like a few weeks ago was like when this crazy Rudolph was going like, I'm here with Logan Lerman is going for Superman. He's like, I have no idea who Logan Lerman is.
He probably just didn't recognize the name. He's like, huh?
I mean, at some point, listen. Some of these like young white boys, sometimes at some point they do merge together. They kind of like it's. I will say there was one interview. I'm not gonna say which interview it was. It was with a talent. They were talking about a certain movie or TV show, and with a certain actor. And then when we got off air, I had to ask them, which one of them is and they had to clarify who it was. I'm like, oh, that one. So it's like that one.
Yeah.
Oh, good Lord, no.
What?
No.
I mean, I get it because if you think about in the sequel Star Wars trilogy, he had his hair kind of like Snape, but no, we don't need it. We don't need it. I mean, Jon Snow, we're getting a new Flash trailer for April 25th. That's confirmed.
Then the entire movie spoiled on Twitter because people at CinemaCon are going to spoil it.
Oh yeah, that's when they're oh god, that's gonna be bad.
Yep, isn't that just wonderful?
Wonderful. What shows do you think will get renewed? None of them. I don't know. CW is completely changing itself, so who knows? Looks like 2023 will be the cosmic year for Marvel, for Guardians, Secret Invasion, and the Marvels.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, I didn't think about that's a theme.
Yeah,
that's quite the theme.
It's pretty interesting. Damn. Jennifer has a question here. Thank you, Jennifer. Not sure if you remember, but back in season 4, the Young Justice season 4, they finished the story of Green Lantern. Well, yeah, they kind of continued it. I haven't seen the show, but people are saying you should.
Maybe that's one because it's only 2 seasons. It's only 13 episodes. You can get through it.
I can get through it. I mean, I don't know if it's forbidden.
Oh my god, I was kidding. Y'all take me like sometimes that like. Yeah, well, I mean, we've seen the whole entire season, which by the way, we've already seen it. We have a link to our review in the show notes.
Yeah, our review, we did a review for the final episodes. That was up Monday. Yeah, Monday. Monday. Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, after this, I'm going to go and be back in a moment. I need to try to figure out what's going on with my stomach. What the hell's going on? But thank you, Jake, for the super chat. But I will be back. You know what would be cool if someone made a picture with the face of all Superman actors combined, all Batman actors combined, all Wolverine actors combined. Because it's called
AI art.
Well, no, the joke is Hugh Jackman. He's the only one who played Wolverine in live action. That's what he meant.
Oh, okay.
Think about Superman, all Batman, like, oh, okay, then Wolverine. Oh, wait, never mind.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
Kiana, you may be right, but yeah, I gotta.
We don't need to bring it up on screen. Just go do your business.
Yeah.
I will. Okay, so let's go through the chat a little bit. Okay, CG, if you want to come on in. Really? You just compare me to this problematic white man that just canceling everything? Wow. I could never. Yeah, exactly, Jennifer. There's only 1 season of I thought those were two seasons of 26 it's 13 episodes each. Let's see. Oh wow, so it's just 1 season. Well, there you go. Let's see. Oh, that's a good question. Out of the Marvel shows, which one is your favorite? Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are joined by the one and the only Mr. Canadagraphs.
Hello. Give me
You
one
don't
second
sound
here. I haven't put my
okay.
headphones in yet.
Sound good.
And they're tied in a knot. Awesome. You hear me okay right now? Yeah? Okay. I can't hear you yet, but I will in a second. All right. So,
you don't sound sick. You don't sound sick.
I feel better than I did when I woke up, but my nose is stuffy and my sore throat. But it's not stopping me from talking, but I probably shouldn't. You know what I'm saying?
So otherwise, what have you been up to this week? And there's been no Flash.
I'm just out there chasing down, the Green Arrow and Canaries and the Beatrice spinoff and the Cecile theatrical movie. Those things. That's what I've been doing. Now, I have had obviously a pretty slow week. Everything's slow here right now. As I said, the last couple of days I'm starting to feel sick, so I'm feeling unmotivated to do much of anything. But right now I'm tackling clearing out my email because I can't use my email until I open up storage space on it, allegedly, because Hotmail and Microsoft don't understand how 15 is greater than 5. But
oh, good Lord. All those emails and one being like, where are you getting all these photos from?
Right? They're clogging up my... No.
Kiara, I hope you understand that Craig was like, he was just trolling. Like, I don't think there's any Cecile fans out there. But that was a great episode.
No, there definitely is a Cecile fan. I think there's one that's like a showrunner somewhere. You can't even deny it.
I mean, I think he likes the character he has on the show. So
he should watch the show then.
Thank God. Like, I'm so done with Cecile. I honestly am. Trust me. But it's like.
I noticed the new synopsis came out today for episode 10, and they mentioned Allegra getting a suit. But nothing about the Cecile one yet.
What if they meant Cecile, but they wrote Allegra by mistake?
No, because if you look at my photo, anybody that is not looking for spoilers, I don't know, go look at the wall for a second. If you notice from my set photos, Allegra is standing there in the field too, and she also looks like she's wearing kind of like a skin-tight outfit. I think it's a repurposed Sue Dearborn suit, but way too dark and way too far away to be sure.
Which episode? 13 or
like
11?
When she's like in 13.
Okay, I'm pulling up your blog right now.
Right.
Let's see.
I know it's hard to tell because her and Cecile are both like the same height, so it's hard to tell which one's which. But there are a couple of shots where they're standing basically beside each other.
I'm gonna address this just this once. First of all, thank you for everyone who sent me your lovely messages. My grandmother is right now still with us, but we still waiting to hear what the surgery is going to become of. So.
Oh, sorry, I didn't even know anything was going on.
No, it's okay. Yeah, she's dealing with lung cancer and other problems.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm angry, but I'm not grieving because grieving means that she would have to pass away. And right now, we're gonna try and hope for the best.
Okay, so give me a second. I'll tell you which photo to. I'll tell you which photo to look at. I just got to figure out where it is in my gallery. Like I'm looking in my blog too, and I saw the photo, but I forgot where that is. Because I'm looking at them one at a time, right? And then I gotta go back and look at the whole damn thing in one shot. Okay, where's this photo? Did I skip over it? Okay, there. I saw a photo where her and Cecile were standing beside each other. Now I can't find it. Not that one.
It is kind of funny, Jake, that it's like it's hilarious having Diggle stand next to Cecile and seeing the height difference. Yeah.
Okay, if you take like any of the shots where the whole, like the far away shots where the whole line is lined up basically facing each other, like when I have the straight on shots, you can see the red building background.
Tell me what row in your photo gallery, and then like which picture, then I can find
it. Third to last row, basically that whole row.
Third row, the last.
Yeah, you see how they're all lined up facing each other in the distance, and the villains are all facing me?
Oh yeah, that does look like her.
Well, it is her.
Well,
I know it's her. I saw her at set.
I'm just thinking because I didn't think it was her when I initially saw it, but
yeah.
Oh, there's a big boat behind them.
But there's a better shot here somewhere. There's a better shot here somewhere where you can see Dan. Okay, so at the end of that row, you can see the end of that set where the building is behind them. You can see a shot that's cropped in more, and you can see like reverse flash Savitar, a couple blurry figures off to the right, and then center is Kayla Compton, and then to the far right, barely on the screen, is Cecile. Do you see that photo?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, so you can see Kayla Compton's like design there. It looks like a repurposed like that leather suit that Sue Dearborn had.
That would make sense.
Yeah, because I mean the Allegra one or the Cecile one looks like a repurposed Dreamer outfit.
Oh, God, can you imagine when the CW releases like the first like official like poster photo or something, if they even do that?
I don't think they will. I think they'll only do that after the suit's been revealed, because they're gonna think this is some cool reveal, and 3 fans will be excited.
I'm more excited about what Rick is wearing as whoever he's playing.
Oh, why? What is Rick wearing?
Well, he's wearing something he's going to be putting on my floor once I invite him to my house. I love Rick. He's awesome.
Any authorities listening? I had nothing to do with this.
No, it's still so funny. His stunt double looks like John Core but shaved. When you send me that photo, I'm like, why the fuck is CD sending me a photo of John Core in some suit? I'm like, that's not John Core. Never mind.
And your first thought from that wouldn't be like, wait, Chillblaine got a new suit?
No, I was just like, why was it an image he sent to me? I'm like, he wants me to like investigate it or something. Let's see what people are saying in the chat. Yeah, Godspeed is in those photos. I don't think the actor who plays Godspeed is going to be there though. There's probably just some stunt double.
No. Karan was not in town as far as I heard. Like, I talked with Teddy that night for a few minutes, along with a couple of the other fans that were there, and someone asked him specifically about Karan, and he's like, I don't know if I can't remember exactly how it was. Something like, I don't know if he's here, but he's not in any scenes with me. Something along those lines is how he worded it.
Could he have filmed in studio?
Possible, but why wouldn't you have had him there that night? Because as Teddy said, he's like, well, I guess you guys don't know what Teddy said. He basically said like anybody that could work that night was asked to work. So basically like him, he doesn't need to be there. They could have got a warm body to be in his suit. He didn't have any lines, I guess. There's not much at speaking going on. They didn't need whoever got or Karan in the Godspeed suit because you don't see their faces. You don't need Grant in the Savitar suit. Like, these are people they did not need to be in the suit, but they wanted them there in case, like, for whatever reason. So if Karan wasn't there in the Godspeed suit that night, I'm assuming he wasn't there at all, just based off of the way Teddy worded it to me.
Oh, look, this poser is back. Do you feel better?
Not really. My stomach is fucking
okay.
pain.
Jordan, take the night off.
No, it's okay.
Are you sure?
Yep. I'm just gonna lean back more, and just because I feel like I'm like, I think also the part problem is I'm sitting up, and I'm just like, I don't know.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
feel like I pulled a muscle or something.
Cecile is the new cicada. There you go.
No, don't say that. It's terrible.
Wait, is she gonna be like Jenna? I'm gonna hurt Chainsaw making him laugh.
All Jennas must die.
Jake says Flash has more character than a fully sexy season of Legend at this point. I think you need to go.
Flash has more than what? I didn't hear all that.
Flash has more characters than a fully stacked season of Legends.
I mean,
actually, the show that has the most series regulars right now is Superman and Lois.
With how many? 13 or something?
About that, yeah.
Yeah.
This is for you, Canadagraphs. Hey, CG, did Cecile or Allegra suit have designs on them?
Hard to tell from how far away I was. I mean, you saw my set photos. You saw how far away I was. I did see them walk by me close up, but they were wearing jackets at the time because it was -7. So I couldn't really tell. And it was pitch black. Like the area where the actors had to pass us was like walking in the middle of a forest at night. It was that dark.
Wait,
they're wearing jackets.
They're wearing jackets and it gets cold there? What?
Yeah, like we've had this weird, strange cold snap, unexperienced anything ever no, just weird. It was crazy.
Well, that sounds strange when you're in the bayou, so it must have got really cold.
I know. The alligators were mad.
So Kiara goes, so Shane's will give up on Gotham Knights.
No, I'm still watching it.
Because he clearly finds it interesting.
I am an episode behind on it.
Well, you have 5 days or something to catch up.
Or yeah, are they off? They're off, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're off. They're all off next week. Never mind.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, nothing's on next week, is it?
Yeah. But they will be back then the following week. All 3 shows.
Woo.
Yes, Jake, you're right. Cold graphs. I think this is the first cold I've had since I had COVID, like January of last year.
Damn. Yeah, Titans had 2 episodes this week. Jon Snow rules 2. Mm-hmm. 2. And it makes sense if you watch both of them why they released them together.
Yeah.
Well, didn't they release the first 2 episodes back to back? The part 1 of season 4. I can't remember.
They released, at the beginning of the season, they released 3 episodes. They always do the whole
3.
Day.
Oh, 3. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it makes sense because if they would have released the first episode and then the second episode the following week of these parts, it would have been jarring because, like, oh, okay, like it just makes sense to kind of see them together. I don't have my Guardians 3 tickets.
I don't have it either.
Nope.
I keep forgetting that's coming. I saw the ad for it like 2 weeks ago. I'm like, oh wow, that's coming soon. And until you just said it now, I'd forgot about it.
The end is near for the Guardians of the Galaxy.
All the questions of who's gonna die. Like,
once the first season ends, I'm binging it. So far, I'm getting mixed reception from Gotham Knights.
I say give it a shot if you're interested in Misha Collins as Harvey Dent. I won't say anything else, but if you're interested in that, I recommend giving it a shot because he does have a fair amount of screen time. So
I think overall the story is good, and like you said, Misha is always good. Like he's an experienced veteran actor. The kids, I mean, they did that CW thing where they just looked for some pretty faces to fill bodies instead of like having them actually audition for roles. Exactly, because that was my. They're not terrible, by the way. They're just typical CW actors.
That was my complaint when I did my video this week about Gotham Knights ranting and complaining, is that Turner Hayes, our main character, I feel like we don't know this character at all. Besides a few lines and the pilot episode, he hasn't had any development. He's just the same one-note character, and that's your lead. If it wasn't for Misha Collins as Harvey Dent and him getting a lot of screen time in the Court of Owls stuff being a really big focus of the show, I would not be watching. Because those things that are keeping me around at this point. We do have a super chat.
Yeah, we have a super chat from Scott Evers. Thank you so
Thank you,
much. What do
thank
y'all
you,
think
Scott.
of this both Gunn and Marvel's trailer? Can't wait for both. Are y'all excited for the Man finale? I'm excited for people who are excited for the finale.
Yes, the finale is probably, hopefully the finale is as good as that episode this week. The Ahsoka trailer is amazing. The Marvel's teaser is good. So yeah, good stuff.
And I have not seen any of them.
No, you're not caught up on
No.
Mandalorian. No,
I think I'm on like episode 3, and I've had all the time in the world to get caught up, and I just haven't.
Yeah, at this point,
I don't
just
know.
wait till the finale and then just binge it.
Yeah. That's the thing too, is with The Mandalorian, it is one of those ones where I have to watch it later because the service that I pay for once in a while doesn't have that channel. So I have to go look at it unofficially somewhere, and I got to wait for that to make it into the world, right? So
Gotcha.
I'm gonna answer Des. Sumilo has been absolutely killing it so far this season, and it's mind-blowing that this show is on the same network as Gotham Knights and Flash. Well, I can tell you why, because they get more money, so they can do more things in the scripts. Gotham Knights and the Flash, they don't. I mean, I think Gotham Knights. I personally think it's been pretty solid. I mean, it's more watchable than Riverdale, so come on. But like, yeah, Gotham Knights and the Flash don't get the same resources that Superman Lois does, so they can't do as much. Therefore, I'm not defending some of the bad plot points in the Flash. But like, when you don't get enough budget, tell me how to make a TV show.
Yeah. I think the Gotham Knights problem, without going into Flash, because we could spend all day about that. I think the Gotham Knights problem is more so not the budget, because I think they're doing solid with the budget they have. It's just, I think outside of the Court of Harvey Dent stuff, I feel like the kid characters, they're just not written well. The only development is Harper and Colin. Like, they are the only ones who have had any development since the show started. The Stephanie, I could care less that she's spoiler.
Yeah,
I don't care.
She's just screen filler to me.
Carrie Kelly is the only other character that has some sort of development, especially if you've seen the newest episode this week. Like, there's some more development with her. And I even mentioned this, like, why couldn't we have the focus on Carrie Kelly? The death of Bruce Wayne. How is the Robin dealing with this? Why isn't the more focus on her? Because they've developed her a side character over Turner Hayes. Like I think they only made Turner Hayes is because they couldn't use Dick Grayson, and they wanted a Dick Grayson type character that was adopted by Bruce.
But also, can we just remind ourselves that this is also an ensemble? So like, I think all characters will have their time to shine, and like that's the thing. It's like, I get it. He's the son of Bruce Wayne, but he's not the main character. He's one of the. It's an ensemble. It's called the Gotham Knight. It's not called Turner Hayes.
Okay, so it's a little complicated in that. That's like saying the Legends of Tomorrow is an ensemble cast and doesn't have a lead. But if you ask anyone who's the lead of Legends of Tomorrow, they're gonna be like Katie Lotz.
Yeah. And the thing is,
this thing where people need to put somebody in the forefront. And as you said, he's the son of Batman. He's also how this entire show came to be, because they're trying to solve the murder that he apparently set up, according to like the GCPD. He is the central vessel for the writing at the moment.
And if you
doesn't mean that it can't be an ensemble, but as of right now, if you ask anybody watching the show who's the lead character, unless they're Misha Collin fans, then they're gonna be like, well, Turner.
And the thing is, if you look at the marketing too, the first marketing promo of all 5 of those characters walking, he's in the middle. You see any marketing, any marketing past that point, he is in the center of it all. But I get your point as well. It's being an ensemble because it is focusing on all of them. My thing is that Turner is technically the lead, but he also is part of the ensemble, and they're all getting screen time and everything, and they're getting their moments. But I feel like it technically, with him being your lead, because he is top billing in terms of like going down the list, I would think that they would develop him more than go, besides, oh, where's my dad in the pilot? Oh, my dad was Batman. What? Oh, I'm being accused of murdering him, and I orchestrated this, and I hired these people. Oh, we're on the run, and that's it. And the only thing they've done is that, oh, Joel is like, oh, you're outside of your comfort zone. You like that. And he's like, well, maybe I do. Or it's like, that's all they've done. And he just sits there and goes, okay, let's get from point A to point B. Like, there is no like, oh, let's actually develop him and actually start exploring more of his life, because if it's tied directly, as Canada said, it's tied directly to the story point of, oh, he killed his father, and it's because he's Bruce Wayne's adopted son. I would think they would probably want to establish more of his connection and with his dad. You would think they would do more of that, but so far we're 5 episodes in. We got things to get to. We have weird shit to deal with. We have Harvey Dent stuff. It's like they're doing too much. I think that's the problem. They're doing too much stuff. It's like either do the Harvey Dent full on or do none of it, because shouldn't the focus be on the kids? But they're spending. I'm not complaining because Misha Collins is Harvey Dent. He's great, but it's just
I'd rather watch these kids over Sophie, Sarah, Lane or whatever. So wants to see
Well, I don't agree with it. Well, what's the seal? I agree with that. But some of the characters on Superman and Lois, no.
Tell me one interesting shit about Sarah right now that is not connected to Jordan.
Well, if you're
you don't even remember who she is.
I know Sarah, but I'm saying in terms of Sarah, the only thing that's really happening to her at the moment is her and her mom's relationship has been kind of broken. And it's inevitable that she's going to end up with Jordan again. But if you're talking about because you're talking about individual characters, that gets into more specifics. If you're talking about the ensemble, I would definitely watch Superman and Lois over Gotham Knights. But in terms of
that's an unfair comparison because Superman and Lois has 37 regulars.
Well, also Superman and Lois has been on for multiple seasons. They've had a lot more time to develop these characters and the stories. Gotham Knights is literally just starting out. So
and Gotham Knights has also been in the unfair advantage of having to basically get bad traders marketed so that everyone can hate on that. People have gone into the show with the intention to hate on it. I'm not saying you, I'm saying other people have, and that's why
I'll admit it. I was against this show, and it's not the dumpster fire that I thought it would be, but unless you're really curious about it, I don't recommend the show. But look, if you're looking for Court of Owls shit, Harvey Dent stuff, Misha Collins is doing well, go for it. But yeah.
Let's see. I find it incredibly funny. Virus Finger just has so much angst. When I was younger, I went through some stuff, but overall, there was still fun. Not some angst drama of sex and drugs, but
that's true.
What Superman Lois is doing is revolutionary, right? We've never seen it before. Moving on from, because this is how we always get into just air. What are we gonna do next year when there's no Arrowverse whatsoever? The Q&A is gonna be half.
We're gonna have nothing to talk about. We do have a super chat from Scott.
Okay. Does Thrawn lead to First Order or separate?
Yes. Just based off the scene, I won't say what it is, but there's a scene in this episode this week that kind of implies this. We'll see.
Unrelated to any of this, I just happened to notice Jordan's shirt, and in my What's Happening tab is Metallica.
The Metallica album dropped today, man.
Oh, okay. That probably explains it. That's why you're wearing the shirt.
Yeah, Jake, no show next week because Jordan will be on vacation and Annie needs to sleep. So.
Yeah, I'll be on vacation. I'll be 2.5 hours away. Probably drinking when this show would be airing. So it'd be good. I'm only bringing my laptop just in case I need to fix a copyright issue. Other than that, I'm not doing shit.
Wait. Hold on. Do you swear on this episode and this multiverse that you will not be doing any reaction videos?
I'm getting everything filmed and all that shit before I leave.
So if something breaks while you're out of town, you will not do a reaction?
Nope.
Put up both your hands and swear on this episode of Endless Multiverse. I swear. On this episode of Endless Multiverse.
On this episode of Ended Multiverse.
Endless Multiverse.
Ended Multiverse.
Endless Multiverse.
Multiverse Endless.
See, he's gonna lie.
I'm not. I won't. Because
he's gonna be there doing videos of a pointless announcement about a ninth cast member being added to a third tier show.
It's the Ghost, my wife's sister's birthday vacation. So no filming.
So guys, next week, any news that comes out, just remember, Jordan will have it first.
Yep.
He will be there on the spot. Doesn't matter if it's Arrowverse. Doesn't matter if it's Star Wars. It doesn't matter if it's Real Housewives of Tibet. He will be there.
If that happens, I will break and have to do a video on that.
Obviously.
Couldn't keep it. It couldn't keep one promise. So. Those are the best kind.
That's why I'm happy there's no fucking Flash next week. Thank God.
Oh, you didn't hear they moved it up.
Well, don't do that. Don't do that. Christ. Then
They're actually going to play all 5 episodes that night.
Oh, they're playing the entirety.
Yeah. They're just like, we need to get it out. We need to get it out.
And they're doing it, and they're
I
airing
lied
it
before. I saw all 5 episodes this afternoon, not just one.
Yeah, they're airing the rest of the season, and they're not putting on the CW next day. It's not going to be available anywhere. It's just that's it. No. They're done.
Crazier thing is they're already putting copyrights out ahead of time, so you can't even react to it live.
Damn.
So you're not even going to be able to react to it.
That would be the biggest fuck you I've ever seen any studio do. Like we don't want you reacting to our content. We just want you to watch it on your television screen.
That's what fucking Warner Bros. Discovery is doing now. They don't want they throw in claims left and right on people. I reacted to that Penguin teaser. That Penguin teaser was up for 45 minutes, and then it got claimed. I'm like, you fucking assholes.
Yeah.
Like, leave it alone. Ugh.
Jesus.
Honestly, it's at the point where if you do not have a stable Patreon base, or you're not getting a notable amount of like those it's like a super chat, but it's in the like normal chats.
Super thanks. Yeah.
Yeah. If you aren't getting a supply of those coming through, you're making no money off these videos. Basically,
not really.
They're just they're aggressively going after them.
I will say this though: my TV reactions to Flash and Lois have not been hit with any claims since I've done the oval recording on the footage, and I've been showing more footage and they've not been hitting touched at all. So it's just for literally trailers for shows. I will say this though, the trailer for the Flash Arrow, the returning Oliver Queen, that didn't get hit. I'm surprised, but the Penguin got hit. Blue Beetle got hit after about an hour or maybe less than an hour, so it wasn't up for long for just me.
It's amazing that Warner Brothers' strategy in all of this is we don't want people to know about our product.
Yeah, we don't want fans. So.
Yeah, because there's reactors who literally have dropped the shows because of these copyright issues.
Sure.
Yeah.
There's lots of times, and I mean probably 1 out of every 3 trailers that comes out that I learn it exists through seeing it in my recommended from a reactor. I would never have known it if it didn't show up in my feed from a reactor reacting to it. And Warner Brothers' logic on this is like, we'd like him not to know.
Yeah, we don't want you to have this, or you can't dispute it and claim fair use. We're not going to release it for you.
Yeah.
Joypad Jake, don't bring that up again. That's a terrible thing to bring up. That was a bad situation.
Wait, which one? What are you talking about?
Joypad Jake at 1041. Just right above the one you pulled.
The baseball game?
Yeah.
Oh, you preempted? Oh, that sucks.
Well, that was a whole thing because that baseball game situation, they were airing a baseball game until 10 minutes into when Superman Lois was supposed to start. I kept checking back. I was actually going to react to it live. I kept checking back on it, and at 8:10 the game ended, and I wasn't even at my computer. I was just checking the fucking app, and I pulled it back up, and the game literally was wrapping up. Like, oh, the game's ending, and then thinking, oh, is the episode going to start? Because if it did, it would make me more mad. Like I could have waited, but then it cut right into randomly in a scene, and then it was playing a couple seconds, and then it cut to a next scene. I'm like, this is not the opening of the show. They literally just cut into when it was airing. They just overlapped it. I'm like, you fucking assholes.
We have super from
that happens here all the time too.
We have a super from Jake. Yeah, did anyone notice the bottom this drum cymbal motion Nia did after doing the title drop in episode 7 and after her and I was cut out of it?
I have no idea what any of that meant.
No, I don't know what that means either.
Oh,
because she made a dream pun. Okay, yeah.
Oh,
I forgot about that. I'm sorry.
Like, why? But
I'm proud to say I forgot that episode.
I don't get what you had so much against it. Like that was a good episode.
It's just no, it wasn't. It was goddamn awful. The only reason it's not the worst episode of the season is because they wrote episode 6 and decided to film it and decided to air it.
That's the point. I even said on Twitter that they should bury that and act like season.
Oh yeah. 12 episode season.
Only 12.
Yeah.
Bury it. Bury that shit.
Yeah. No, that was. I feel so bad for Nicole because they saddled her with one of the worst episodes the show has done in a while, and everybody took it out on her because they want to find a reason to hate for a particular reason. And at the end of the day, the sad reality is it was a bad episode. So you can look at the stats like when people rate it on different places and they're like, oh, it's got a 5.0 on this side. It's a 3 out of 5 on here. You can look at that and be like, I understand some review bombing happened to it, but 92% of that review is authentic. Like people are just like, this was a boring episode. No one understood what was going on. It didn't lead anywhere. The best part of the episode was the end credits and the scene in Jitters when they were being Jitters employees. Like that was it.
That was fun. That was a funny moment. Yeah. Tom Cruise and Hagrid, no. Joypad, what was 611? I don't know.
Field.
Oh my god. Daddy likes the no. Okay, so that's funny. So
what is that? So
whoa, wow. I haven't looked in a few days. The Wildest Dreams episode is now the second lowest rated episode on IMDb.
Okay, so yeah, Daddy Likes the Metal. So
it's not that bad.
Yeah, but so Daddy Likes the Metal. That was the episode where the ghost was rushing home from work. She was working.
Oh my god, I remember that.
She was rushing home, and she literally got home as the episode was starting. So I was filming myself. I was thinking she was going to show up late.
She was so mad that she rushed home for that.
She rushed home. She's sitting off camera, so you're hearing her audio reaction. And literally about halfway through that episode, she just started getting so mad because she's like, "I rushed home for this shit." And I'm like, I'm so sorry. But then, of course, we got the iconic Daddy Likes the Metal. But that's the only thing that came out of that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I get the point. But I will say this. If it wasn't for Daddy Likes the Metal, I may agree with you, Joypad Jake, but we're literally talking about an episode in the final season of the show that was a train wreck every 5 seconds. It was just so bad.
Blame Warner Bros. For not giving them more money to do more things.
Also got to blame. Well,
I mean, Warner Brothers had to pay for Zaslav's third yacht. Okay.
Yeah, come on.
Only free.
No, that was the payment for the third yacht of his 11.
Jake, I don't know if she almost got a speeding ticket, but she was flying home trying to get to watch it. Man. I surprised she didn't fall asleep during that. I think only because I was just laughing how stupid it was. That's what they should have brought that. They should have brought back Aminette Black for the final season. But then again, no, she's too busy shooting a better show.
Yeah, I think there's scheduling conflicts with that.
She was doing a little thing called The Mandalorian, being the lead of that show, basically. So
okay, I'm gonna say this one last time.
Ooh.
And because now I'm getting tilted. Again, people, if you want to call me a flash show, go ahead. I don't give two fucks. Like, life is too short to live anyway. So if you don't get a big budget and you're basically left with scraps, yeah, you're not gonna be able to do much. If Zoom and Lois had that same budget and they also didn't have Tyler and Bitsy for an episode, you probably would have had some nonsense story about Christy and Kyle investigating things together. Not that Kyle is a reporter, but like investigating each other. So yeah.
Well, I get your point. I get the point because at a certain point, there's not much you can do. I think the episode was in a no-win-win situation. You don't have Grant or Candace. You have the leftovers, and a lot of people do not like the leftovers. Joe is not there, so you can't use him. And you can't, and they don't have the budget right now. They're not bringing in any big names like Stephen Amell. It would make no sense to bring Stephen Amell into this. Like they're they're literally bringing, okay, who can we bring in? Oh, let's bring in a character no one cares about because they don't have a budget. I think, but the other thing
there was two things. Sorry, I didn't actually mean to cut you off. Finish what you're saying.
My whole thing is like, I'm not going to bring the acting because they're doing the best they can. They're playing their characters. I think the problem is that they just wrote a bad story, and I understand part of that is budget. I get it, but what also is not budget is your dialogue. And my God,
and I agree. Flash doesn't have the best supporting character. I can agree with that, but it's like, don't think that writing. I'm saying this to people talking about this. Writing is not everything. Budget is, because the writing has to apply for your budget. Like if I let's say, okay, Stevie, you're gonna be my Multiverse TV executive, and I'm saying, okay, so I want to do a big episode that's gonna require us to do a lot of green screen. We're gonna be a lot in space, and we need to pay licensing money for this type of score and so on. How much can you give us?
Here's your Dairy Queen gift card. Good luck.
That's not where I thought this was going. I'm like, okay, so we can have we can draw Stitch figures and a spaceship.
Long as it's only in one color pen.
I only get one color. Oh, okay.
Damn.
Yeah.
So
you better pick your color well.
So yeah, but you know what? I'm done arguing with people about this because
I'm gonna just chime in one thing about this all. When it comes to budget, a thing I don't think many people understand about the budget as well is that also pays for the writers. And if you are thin on a budget, you are not getting the Emmy Award-winning writers.
Yeah, it's true.
Let's just be honest about this. The CW is the place people go when they're starting out their career. That is not the place Emmy Award winners are going. So when you also talk about the writing isn't poor, sure, because they're getting almost close to the bottom of the barrel for writers. The only thing probably below them is like Hallmark and TV commercials. How
about you take this one and tell them what you told us, what some of the Flash crew said about the budget this season that you spoke about.
That it got trimmed mid-season?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I learned this about halfway through the season. It was one of the Central Park scenes. Which episode would that have been in? I can't remember what it was, but it was one of the times they were doing a forced scene. Oh, I think it might have been the Grodd episode. Because it wasn't the Amel one. It was definitely before that one. I had a crew member come up to me that day. So what was that? Like episode 3, 4?
5.
Yeah.
5? Episode 5? And he comes up to me, we're talking, and he's like, yeah, and we had our budget cut. And I'm like, I basically said to him, like, yeah, everybody's, had their budget cut, thinking he meant like going into the season. And he's like, something, I can't remember exactly how he phrased it, but basically he phrased it something along the lines of like, we were just given a 10% reduction this week. Like middle of the season, you already have assigned your budget in theory across the board for the season. And they found out in episode 5, they've now got 10% less across the board for the rest of the season. And then later on, a couple of episodes later, I think probably for episode 9, I think it was, because I think I was back in Central Park again. Same crew member and another one, like the same crew member was talking to me. He was bringing it up again. And the one crew member just walks by and goes, don't even get me started. So like, it's not just like one guy saying it. No. It's the crew as a whole understand we're on a more shoestring budget than we started the year at. If you went into the year with a budget, I'm just throwing out a number. We know it doesn't cost us much or this little, but I'm just throwing out a number for easy translation. If you go into the year and you're like, I have $100 budget to do the show, and 5 episodes into the season, they're like, by the way, $90. What do? Like you've already written the majority of your season. You have planned for these shortcomings that you needed to make, and now now they're telling you, like, by the way, you have to trim more. And you can get by in some of those cases. Maybe you get rid of one hairstylist. You get rid of a couple of PAs. You get rid of extra third AD. You get rid of a few people that you're kind of like, okay, that saves us a few dollars, but you're still well short because the part that brings in the largest part of the budget is VFX CGI and the casting. You know? So what do you do?
Can I add something? I
Sure.
love that you all are, like, and I'm talking to some of you in the chat now, and other people in the internet sphere, that you have no problems going after Warner Bros. When it comes to David Zaslav, but when it comes to the Flash, everything is suddenly just the show's fault.
Right? I think part of the problem with that, to be blunt, is they see how strong Superman and Lois is doing, and it is hard for them to understand Superman and Lois's budget. I don't want to say it like it's a lot more because I don't actually know their numbers, but it
is a lot more.
It's probably like 25% more at the bare minimum. And they also don't have the CGI need that Superman and Lois does. Outside of when like Superman goes flying, they don't have that same need on the budget all the time. And their sets are really basic. A farmhouse, a downtown set that's already built and is made out of wood. Their whole downtown area is basically cheap farmland location. They don't have to rent downtown city spaces very often. Now we'll see how that goes in season 4, but
if there's a season 4 specifically.
I'm reasonably sure there will be, just because I think the show is performed adequate enough that the CW is probably looking at it going, we still need a couple shows to keep people here long enough to sell our golf advertisements to them.
If anything, one more season likely.
Yes, I think one more season. Speaking of their advertising sports, I was on Facebook yesterday, and you know how Facebook? Yeah, I'm 50, dude. So, you know how the social media accounts for all the shows always promote the new thing coming out for the CW. They did it for Gotham Knights. Before that, they did it for whatever else. They're always promoting things unrelated to their show. Mm-hmm. Now, I went through the Flash's thing after I saw this particular ad. The post before that for the Flash had like 150 likes and thumbs ups and all that stuff, and like 36 comments. The ad that they did for F1 racing, or whatever the hell racing thing it is they're doing now, one comment, 7 likes, and those 7 likes were 4 of the orange frowny face things. 7.
Well, I also noticed too,
and 1 comment.
The Flash on Instagram did the same thing. They posted a thing from
it's probably an auto post that goes across all platforms.
Yeah, that was my thinking. Is like that's because I noticed too at times the Arrow will post like story stuff that's related to current CW stuff.
Yeah, like they're like promoting other shows.
And you know that the Arrow social media accounts will be picking up again when the Stephen Amell episode airs. They're gonna be sharing the hell out of that. They're gonna be promoting it.
Yeah.
One last time, and then that's good. Yeah. But everyone, I just didn't know that Twitter University existed now, where like everyone suddenly thinks they understand how television is made. And I'm not saying that I know any more. I probably know more than maybe most mainstream audiences because this is the field I work in. But it's like I just think it's so funny with this studio. It's like when it comes to the movie, everything is David Zaslav's fault. But when it comes to anything the TV shows wise, Warner Bros. TV is never to blame. The CW is never to blame. It is all on the show. So
well, I think the bigger problem in terms of just not talking about the Flash, the problem I think is social media is a double-edged sword, because now on social media, especially Twitter, everyone has a voice. Everyone can look up misinformation, or they can find people that believe the same thing they do, and then they believe the narrative that they're being told. And so I think the problem is everybody has a way to voice their opinions, And it gets to the point where there's people that just believe a certain thing, even though it's not true, or they're getting half truths. That
couldn't be me.
It can never be you. But I think in general, we all have those situations where we hear half truths or see things that are not fully the context of things, or we just hear stuff that we believe.
Yeah.
And that's just the way social media is. And I think that's the problem is social media. Yeah, you can connect with other people that like the same interests, but then also too, there's a bad side to it where, oh, you're being told something that isn't true and you believe it. And then you're spreading it like it's the truth. Because
and that's how you make people like Grace Randolph famous.
Well, that's the thing too, because Grace Randolph sits there and takes other people's scoops and other people's stories and tries to act like she's the first one who broke it. No, she did not. There's a lot of times she takes literal stuff from other people's patrons, or she looks at people that have less followers on social media and takes their scoops and acts like it's hers.
Right.
So
yeah, that's been going on forever though. Like even before the pay for info services existed, and like IMDb message boards used to be a hellscape of spoilers and scoops that were 25% true and 75% imaginary.
I mean, this is a point too. Olicity shippers almost ruined Arrow. Well, the Olicity shippers got their way in Arrow.
Yeah,
that's the thing. It's because of social media, because Mark Guggenheim was a dumbass going on Tumblr.
Yeah,
so that's also another thing there. The guy who was running the damn show went and saw a minority fan base that had a loud voice and went, oh, if we do more of this, our show will be more successful. Actually, it made it worse and less people watched. And look what happened. Andy mentioned Grace Randolph. Now he's gone. It's over. Done.
I'm doing something. That's why I don't want people to see me.
Oh, he's got a big scoop.
He's got a big scoop. He's messaging Grace Randolph right now. Okay, I'm about to post this. Make sure you run it and act like
I would rather eat a raw fish and talk to her.
Yeah.
This is how things I've learned how it is. Andy has 312 little small accounts that have 6 followers each that he posts a scoop on, then emails Grace about it for her to pick it up and run with it so it doesn't come back to him.
Yeah, because he doesn't want to be associated because he secretly loves her, right? Is that what you're trying to say?
Huge fan.
I figured it.
I heard he's got a Funko of her.
He made a custom Funko.
I'd rather buy a Felicity.
He took an old Olicity one and he painted it up to look like her. He put the little crazy eyes on it and everything.
Crazy eyes. I was going to say, is the Funko Pop a pancake because she flip flops? Because that's Andy's joke about her.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God! Yeah, would you, Andy? That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
There would be no tax cut to it.
No, 5,000 straight cash, no taxes.
Sure, I can talk to her and pretend I give a shit.
Yeah, you gotta talk to her for at least an hour on a podcast format. It's 1 hour. Then you can go and sleep and not have to do it ever again.
Would you be able to sleep after that though? That's the problem.
Probably not. You'd probably be staying awake.
I would probably just do a whole slideshow of Tom Welling to get me to fall asleep.
He probably would literally go back and watch it all again and pause every single time that she fucking said something so stupid.
Ooh, it would be a really good a reaction to that video.
I'll react to it. I would definitely react. I would milk the shit out of that. I would recommend it parts. Part 1, part 2, part 3.
I hate you both.
Yes. I think we'll be on for a few more minutes, guys. We're almost at the 2-hour mark. We'll be on for a little bit, and then we're going to call it a night, guys. It's been a crazy day with all the videos and shit.
The ads at 3,000.
But yeah, it's been a crazy week. I'm ready for my vacation. That's what I'm ready for.
It's a shame that while you're on vacation, you're going to miss the rest of the Flash.
Yeah,
I would laugh so hard if they're like, you know what, we're gonna actually air all the episode.
I mean, what if I just call in that one ultimate favor with the CW being like, hey, can you air it this week?
Can you air it actually, and then do a break next week, right? Like the following week, do a break then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know people don't have that much power. Don't worry.
Yeah. Kiana, I like that comment.
His comment.
Yeah.
Oh no, I will put I will put earplugs in, and she won't see them.
There you go. Connor, I think the trailers for Jedi Survivor have been pretty good. I'm excited for the game. I'm excited. I'm just not thinking about Metallica. That's all I'm thinking about. Yeah, because I literally, like, for the first part of my day, I got through all of the 8 songs filming.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And of course, typical fashion, as I suspected, all the videos I've uploaded so far have been claimed. So no money for me. Whatever.
I'm not surprised to hear that. Metallica seems like the, hey, give us your reaction money type.
The Metallica did not claim my reaction to their first new song last year. I think because I didn't show the music video and I was playing it off my iPad versus the audio coming through my computer. So maybe that was the difference. But I was just like, I'm not. It is what it is. What is Metallica? No. How is Metallica? Who is Metallica?
I'll do one better. Why is Metallica?
Why is Metallica? That's a good question. Why is Metallica? Because they can. Someone came in here earlier and said, "Where is Metallica?" They're probably sleeping. Someone came in earlier saying, "I thought you were reacting to all of Metallica tonight. What is this?" And I'm thinking, okay, I already made a point in my third video I uploaded at 6 that this is the final song of the night. I'm not going to be sitting all night just uploading. When is Metallica? I am Metallica. Oh, I just wanted you to play the clips again. Oh, okay.
Okay. What we haven't.
We have new clips.
Let's see.
Yeah.
I actually have to scroll. Hold on.
Wait, did you guys dig up some new clips?
We got some new clips. We
got
Whoa. Yeah.
Whoa, budget.
Shit.
Did you get a budget increase?
Hello, shit.
Yeah, David Zaslav took our money.
Every matter will die.
Canada was laughing. I was hoping
I'm laughing at Defunct's comment about my keyboard.
Oh, I thought you were laughing at the clip.
That's the case. That character was in a season of television that was produced by Todd Helbing, and somehow we reward him a Superman TV show. Fuck my life! How nice it must be to be white and male.
Let me ask you a question here, Andy. Just spitballing. How has Todd Helbing Superman and Lois gone?
I am so tired of the Lois storyline because it's just painful. I don't care about the cushions anymore besides Lana.
By the way, it's well, actually, it is very related. The actress that played the woman that was sitting in the chemo chair, the one closest to Clark in that scene.
Yeah.
I went to her Instagram and found out she's an actual breast cancer survivor, and she told the writers some of her experiences for that dialogue.
Oh.
And I'm like, you know what? I really respect a show when they hear from someone that's got a real life experience or something, and like, okay, give us your input on this. Because that was not a thing that would happen 10 years ago.
No. Andy, can we play the last new clip? Or no?
Why is everyone saying wow? Why
I only see 2 wows.
Yeah, what did I do this time? Tell me what I did this time. I swear to God, something's like, what did I say?
I don't know. I think Canada will get a kick out of this clip. I'm gonna play it. You ready, Canada?
Okay.
We'll bring the war.
Just remember, hold on, just remember, in a few months, when she's accepting the Emmy for this scene, you got to see it live.
That's true. Dude, someone mentioned that weeks ago after that episode aired, saying that should be a clip, and I randomly thought about it, I'm going to add that as a clip.
I feel so bad for her, man, because, I don't know, I don't know when you're filming it if you have an idea how silly something looks, but I mean, someone sat behind the camera, and a couple of people sat in a tent, and they came out and told her, "Great job." Someone said that to her, and she's a very good actress. Like, we saw her in Batwoman; she is perfectly capable of acting. She's had other projects before this. She is not someone that just walked into the studio that day and started filming television. But yet
sure
somebody behind the camera filmed that, didn't break and laugh at it, and someone in the tent came out and told her, "Very good, let's do that again."
Okay.
And they chose that clip.
Yeah. You want to play it again or no? Is that what you're saying or no? I don't know. I think she was told to do that. I'm pretty sure.
I hope so, and
yeah,
I hope
she was.
I hope she never had to watch the clip herself and be like, "Oh my god, I did that on television."
Ours, like, don't play it again. Oh, it'll be played again at some point. Maybe not this episode, but it'll be played again. Don't worry about it. Take two. Take the count. Take two.
Bring the war.
I didn't play it.
I will take that 10 times more over shitty cicada acting because Chris Klein cannot act.
What are you talking about? Chris Klein nailed Gracie.
Yeah,
every time.
Wow, out of content, that sounds so bad.
Gracie. Well, I think.
TV.
Oh God, I just got what you were saying.
Yeah. Oh. Oh God.
Andrew.
Executive produced by the people of Riverdale.
I want to invite Chris Klein on Endless Multiverse just to talk about Gracie.
I will not. I will sit that one out.
Then you will gladly sit it out because I want to talk to the amazing Chris Klein and only talk about his cicada role.
So what you got to do, Chainsaw, is you're gonna have to do this on a time where you and Andy are in the same room, so that he can't escape.
Okay.
And then do it.
And then what we'll do is we'll bring in Chris Klein on the show. Then to surprise him, we'll bring in the little girl who played Gracie onto the show as well as a surprise.
Jake, I can't take you seriously right now. No fucking way. Can you say that season 5? No, I'm leaving. I'm kidding, but that's garbage. I can't. I'm sorry. Like, you're entitled to your opinion, but wow, I could never. Arrow season 4 and The Flash season 5 needs to burn in hell.
It's interesting because I've heard so many people griping about how bad this season is, which they're not wrong. But it's hilarious because I hear them be like, "Oh my God, Arrow's final season was so amazing." And I'm like, do you not remember we spent more than a third of that season following Future Kids?
We did. Yeah.
And an entire episode was also dedicated to them.
I overall think.
I mean, all of the Oliver shit in real time, yeah, great. But we spent a third of that season on crazy, dumbass stuff that never mattered to anything.
Exactly, because it never led to Green Arrow and the Canaries. It all fell apart. Yeah, but I still say Arrow season 8 is, in my opinion, great, amazing in terms of the Oliver stuff.
Sure.
But yeah, once you get into specifics of like, okay, the future stuff, don't care. Green Arrow and the Canaries pilot, okay.
Red Death.
It's like getting
Wait. Who fought Red Death? Who fought Red Death? Was it Iris? Was it Joe? No, I think it was Flash. So it's like,
actually, it was Batwoman.
That's true.
she literally fought Red Death and knocked her out.
You know what? It's like
I'm sorry, Andy. I should have just let you have your moment.
It's fine. I give up. If people don't want to like the Flash, but they want to let other shows get away with same shit, then go for it. I don't care anymore.
We broke Andy.
Well, I think we're gonna call it, guys. Or we could spend all night talking about this shit, but we're gonna call it.
I look forward to when the Arrowverse is dead, so we don't have to have these debates anymore.
Yeah, you can go back to what's really important, like episodes of Real Housewives of like Bangladesh, and you can do Jackass season 3 or whatever they're on, and is Duck Dynasty still a thing? Maybe you could do that.
No, but we can definitely do a watch along of that from beginning to end. We could definitely do that. I mean, I'm growing the beard out. Why'd you spoil the news? I'm growing the beard out because we're gonna make that announcement soon. Why'd you spoil it? Why'd you spoil it?
That's what I do. Have you not looked at my blog?
That is true. Hey, next up, you'll have a blog written out saying Endless Multiverse to do a watch along of Duck Dynasty.
Mm-hmm.
Yuck.
That's what I'm going to turn my blog into now, is just talking about rumors about things that Chainsaw is going to react to.
People would be like, what the fuck? And then you're like, Patreon exclusive. I know what Chainsaw is going to be uploading next. But we thank you guys for being here, supporting Endless Multiverse, episode 53. We want to thank Canadagraphs for being here, of course, being a part of the show, even though he has a sore throat and being sick. And sorry for being gone for a bit, guys. I was just feeling terrible. I still feel kind of like crap, but it is what it is. But as you guys know, we always have to end on the greatest clip to ever exist in the fucking Arrowverse of all time. Cicada, Gracie, take it away.
Metas killed your parents, Gracie. They all deserve to die.
Don't believe him, Grace.
Just like she goes, don't believe him, Grace. Anyways, bye, everybody.
See you in a few weeks.
Bye-bye. Bye. All right.